Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. All right, guys, today we are going to be going over season 1 of The Wire, episode number 4 called Old Cases. This is The Wire Revisited. And let me get my people up in here. All right. We got my girl Moochie. Hey.
What's up, y'all? What is
And
up?
then we have, let me introduce him properly, okay? We have our king among men, Brillo, the big review. Hey!
Good. What's good, Moochie? What's
Hey,
good?
what's
Yes.
up?
We know y'all. Some of y'all know where I get that from, right? King among men. That's from
Snowfall.
that's from Louis. Yeah, shoot. She done made a course. She
Mm,
done made the quote of the year with that one. Okay.
yes.
Thank you, Eric S. No spoilers.
Who else is coming?
Hey, Reggie M. Let me see who else is in here before we get
Karen
started.
Jones is here.
Yes. What up,
Who?
Karen?
Karen Jones.
Karen Jones. Hey, girl.
Ew.
Support gaming. Hey.
Ew.
All right, guys. So, how did y'all enjoy this episode? We about to get into it. So,
Every episode of The Wire for me, season 1 is
Mhm.
fire for me. It's one of it's my all-time probably top show. That is
Mm,
Sopranos of all time. So
right. You said
all of
Sopranos too?
fire. Yeah, I go back and forth uh,
Between those, yeah.
between those two shows.
Yeah, you see, that's why you got to get on your Sopranos, Moochie.
I know that's.
I
I'm
guess
trying
after
to
we're
figure
done with
out what
this,
night I'm gonna do it. Where
yeah,
we got a whole bunch
maybe,
of people coming for the rewatch.
yeah. All right, guys. So we are going to get ready to get into this episode. All right. And, we're going to start off with this crap because honestly, this was kind of funny. So you guys don't have to say anything about it because I'm just going to mention it. I almost felt like, why the heck did they put this in there? But hey, so
It's a reason.
the episode starts off with her trying to get a desk into the office. Some of the other officers, they come in to help and it's a serious struggle, right? We later find out that it was only a struggle because they were pushing the desk in the opposite directions, right? Like Herc was pushing forward, the other guys were pushing forward, like it wasn't going no freaking where. He was trying to get it inside. But anyway, so meanwhile, Freeman is over there just watching. And I'm like, what the heck? Can't you speak up and say something? Because to me, he looked like he knew that these clowns was just doing it all wrong.
He definitely knew. Just look at him. That snide
Right.
look. Like these young
Like these damn idiots.
Yes. And he just polishing his furniture. Like, anyway, whatever. I don't got time for this. All right. So I just wanted to bring that up because I was laughing, honestly. That was a nice little joke. So next, we see that Kima and McNulty, like they show up to this hearing for a dude named Marvin Browning. Now, Kima figures that since this dude is carrying a long rap sheet, she could get him to flip for a lesser charge and give up some names. Okay, you want to take that away, Moochie, and explain the scene a little further?
All right, so they trying to get this dude to flip. And at first he was on board because he don't know who he flipping on.
Right.
But when she was saying, running off all the names, the whole lowdown, like who I want, he like, I'll take the year.
Right.
Like, he like, upset.
He said, fine. He was like, all right.
Like, forget that. I'll take the year. Excuse me about my cursing. I'm sorry.
And then they like, you will take the years.
Like, right. They just looking. Yo, they looked so stupid. I was kind of happy when this happened because at first, Kima had the little smug look on, like, yeah, we got like, you.
We want Savino.
We
want Avon. We want Stringer Bell.
Yep. She's like, yeah, we got you. That's kind of like her little facial expression. And then he was like, all right, then. And she's like, all right, what? And he said, I take the years. Her and McNulty looked so stupid. Like, oh my gosh.
I was not expecting that.
I don't understand why they don't realize that the Barksdale is a force to be reckoned with. The Barksdale.
Yep, they sure don't. So
they just used to people ratting. This
Right.
dude was not, he like breathing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bubbles got them spoiled.
it kind of annoyed me a little bit with this episode with Kima. Like that was her major thing. Like she was trying to get people to rat, and I understand like that's how they do their job, but I really hate that honestly about cops. But anyway,
Yeah,
so huh?
Me too, Miss K. It's like do some detective work. It's like
Yeah,
your job for you.
exactly.
Like, go
Like
figure it out.
you putting other people's lives in danger. I don't like that. So.
I agree too, because they already had Bubbles laying their case out on a platter to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need to do your detective work. What more
Right.
he needs to do? He's laying the case out.
Right.
He's showing you who's who in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, they still want more help.
Because they're not getting anywhere. But listen, we're gonna talk. Watch. So next we have Daniels, and he goes to visit Patty, the old officer that Bodie knocked out. And he will obviously be out on leave, but he also wants to enter early retirement. Like, screw all this, you know what I'm saying? Even after Daniel tells him to like think about it, Patty was like, "No, I'm done. Have a nice life, Lieutenant." So you want to explain a little bit for us on this, Brillo?
Of course, these dudes. First of all, they horrible cops. They only got put on the on the team because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they wanted to get rid of. They all just want that pension. So this is just this guy's exit ticket. He's not trying to solve no cases.
Right.
We'll see. They both got the same idea to get out of here quick. Like Daniel should be happy this guy is leaving.
Right.
But he was not an asset at all. I was confused about that. Like, I think this was just for optics to come there and that's his job. You see his face, he don't care. Look at Daniel's face.
Right. Ain't this the same idiot that brought back the white Avon Barksdale?
Yeah, that's the same one, girl.
He just didn't want him to be able to say, or the lieutenant or whatever didn't even come to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Right. So Moochie, you want to talk about the whole whole situation where he would start talking to the other dude?
So y'all know this is the dude that Bodie beat up, and then they jumped on him, right? Yes. Okay, so I'm just walk with me a little bit. So he like, once I got hit the first time, his homeboy giving him the cigarette when he was on the ground, right? So he was already like, all right, this is my out. I'm leaving.
Right.
I'm leaving. I don't have quite all my time. I'll get a 40% pension, and I will be all right. Mm-hmm. Cheers. Have a drink with me.
Right.
Because I'm going out, and I'm just going to do some security work at my so-and-so's shop, right? That's basically what he was saying. And he was like, well, you have to make a certain amount. He already got everything planned. He's going to be working off the books. He's not even worried.
But then he tries to get the other guy to join him. Like, why don't you come out with me?
Yeah.
I was like, are you freaking serious right now?
Yeah, because he's like, look, you right behind me.
Right.
They got something in the works.
You right behind me. All you got to do is take a fall down them steps.
So look, I didn't plan on talking about them any more after this. So I'm going to jump ahead to him actually contemplating trying to fall down some daggone steps.
Yo,
and I said, yo, this Negro is about to make a mistake and freaking kill himself. But
look, if it wasn't for them coming,
yes, McNulty. Oh my gosh. I said, wow.
He had to sit there and look. He was like this, act like this on the steps.
And then he was really, and then he grabbed onto them rails. I said, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, he was going to toss himself down the steps like a stuntman in Fall Guy.
Definitely killed himself. Like,
yes, I think so.
You see, those were concrete steps.
Yeah, I think it was going to be a wrap. So we get to this next scene, right? And Bodie is at the juvenile detention center, and he finds out that ain't nobody from the West Side in there with him. Okay, so he's like, I don't know about this, and I'm gonna let you go on and have this one, Brillo, since this is your boy.
You already know what time it was with Bodie. Is one of my all-time favorite characters. I mean, it was no doubt he was not going to cower or he was going to hold it down.
Right.
No doubt in my mind. I mean, he was built for it. I mean, as you can see, they try to scare him or whatever, but of course, that's what he does.
I feel like you want to say something about this, Moochie?
He was ready to get it in, but he saw his way out.
Right. He's like, why
he had
should
to
I?
finesse
He had opportunity. He just looked around and saw all of this open space and nobody looking, and the guard paying attention to the nurse and talking.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Listen, I was like, no alarm. Like, I was waiting for the alarm to go off.
That's what I was waiting for too.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Like, it's that easy to get up out of there. He slid quick. Like, why is anybody staying?
Yep.
Honestly, like.
Meanwhile, freaking Carver and Herc, they're on their way to see him, right? To question him and all that stuff. So Carver, he gets Herc all hyped up about how they gonna give Bodie another beating and scare him into thinking he almost killed Patty just so Bodie could start spilling, the beans and stuff. But little do they know that Bodie is freaking gone. All right. And they drove right by him too. He was over there hitchhiking. All right, so we're gonna move on to this next one. We got Officer Chunky. I'm calling him Officer Chunky, but this is Jay. So he comes and he brings McNulty a cold murder case of this female named Deirdre Crescent. All right, now he brings McNulty this case all because there's a guy named D mentioned as the possible shooter. So you could go ahead and talk about that, Moochie.
All right, so this is a cold case that somebody worked and they worked it half, they worked it halfway. They did a lazy job with it. So he gives it to McNulty and bunking him go and investigate this.
And the whole thing is that this case, the way they had it, like they was on this for a while. Like I told y'all, there's a lot of things that I don't remember. So the fact that they were on this for kind of a minute in this scene, I was like, oh gosh, this is something. And the crazy thing is that it wasn't anything that matched with the stuff that they had. Nothing that they had on Barksdale, it was not a match. This is something that happened. They said something about some like North apartments or whatever. So it wasn't even in their area. All right. And McNulty was like, I don't really want this. But then the guy said, listen, can you just show me some love? And look what freaking winds up happening. So we're going to go back and we'll talk about that a little later. So now we have Omar, right? And here's the situation.
Was this the one you was laughing at with me on the phone?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, it was.
I don't know if okay, hold on. So next, Omar, he'd been having like his operation on lock for years in these streets, right, guys? And Kima, she ain't never even heard of him, all right? Or his brother, No Heart, Anthony. But anyway, in this scene, we find out that the redhead is Omar's lover boy. And my question for both of y'all is, do you remember the first time that you ever saw The Wire? And what was going through your mind when this happened? Brillo, you could start. When you saw that Omar was
it, like what? I could tell because if you see my man, his partner or whatever, he looking like rolled his eyes, and then I'm like, I was flabbergasted. It added a different twist to it because, I mean, you can't not like Omar, but Omar was delusional, man. Delusional. Yeah. You do all this dirt and then you don't think nothing's bad's going to befall on you. Like I was stunned. And then what happened later? Like you're supposed to be this good dude or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? The lady walks up with the baby. You give her some free crack, like
right. And they call his brother No Heart. Huh.
And you robbing dope dealers, like you think that's honorable, but you giving their product away to
right. And I honestly, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I honestly was waiting for him to deny her.
Me too.
I thought he was going to do something. I thought he was going to do something, honorable, like you said, and he didn't. Yo, hook her sister up. Honor. This lady got a baby in her hand. I mean, trash.
And then he wiped the tears from the baby, like, and then give her the rock. Like, you should have told her, get out of here.
For real.
But he ain't told her that because she must have been there before getting it from him. Anywho.
Yeah, still.
But my part was when he touched the other guy's shoulder.
Yeah, that guy was like.
And that guy was like, look.
He was looking on his
like nah, man.
He was looking on his shoulder like, yeah, you wanna
like he was like, you wanna chill here with us? He was like, nah, I'm going to go see my mama.
Yeah, he was kind of looking at him like he was a little attracted too. I was like, oh.
Like, you want to chill here with us? He's like, nah, man, I'm going to go see my mama.
This was a twist they threw at us. I'm like, okay.
Yes, it really was. It really was. All right, so
The Wire was years ahead of the game with this.
Because now they got it added with everything now. They was years ahead of the game, like you said.
First thing came out with the, I don't know if I could say this, the homo thug thing. So that was when that was like a new thing.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Omar was really pressing. It really just put it in perspective. Like, it don't matter about your sexuality. Like, if you're a gangster,
right?
Like, you're still a man at the end of the day. That's how I look at it. Like, I live in Detroit now. It's a funny story. I'm not gonna go too long with it, but long story short, I witnessed a transgender woman. I want to be politically correct.
Okay.
Beat the brakes.
You said not brakes, but rakes.
Giving it to him. And that's when the light bulb came. Like, okay, you think something sweet? These people, transgender or whatever, he's still a man. So,
right.
Exactly. I don't know why some of them be thinking they can't fight.
This was before camera phones and all that, because I know that would have went viral.
Right. It sure would have. Oh my gosh. All right. So next, Avon tells his crew that he wants Omar and his crew to be made an example out of. You know how they be killing the deers and stuff, and then they be having them on the freaking what you call it? Hood of the car and all that. So he said that's what I want to happen. Okay. 1,000 on the crew members. And once he found out that Omar was, a gay man, he was like, all right, make it 4,000 on his head and 6,000 if I get to holler at him before he's taken out, right? So the crew leaves, but Stringer stays behind to talk to Avon. So, Brillo, you want to go ahead and talk about the conversation between him and Stringer?
Well, I hate Stringer, but Stringer was right with this conversation. I don't know if it's possible. I know I waver a lot, but you can't not like Stringer because he's everything you're supposed to want to be, especially being in the dope game. But he was right on this. Like, do you think we need to do it like this? Stringer could see Avon was in his bravado bag, his I run the streets bag, his send a message. He was kind of underestimating Omar, honestly. But String knew the deal. So he should have probably listened to Stringer on this. Definitely.
He told him like there's I think he knew that there was something going on down there at the low rises, right? But I think it wasn't revealed yet, but I know that in episode 5 he goes down there and talks with him with D'Angelo. So, but we're not going to talk about that yet. So, but at this moment, I'm gonna just be a little honest. Like, I don't have any dislike for Stringer Bell at this time. To be honest, when I was watching The Wire back in the day, I never disliked him. I was one of those people that were heartbroken and pissed off when the situation happened with him. And I'm not going to say because there's some people that haven't watched it yet. But listen, I'm going to say another thing.
Huh? I beg to differ. It was a point I liked him, and then I started.
No, but me, I never disliked him. And guess what? In this scene, when I saw certain faces he was making, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he is so fine." But anyway, go ahead, Moochie. I had to add that in there because
this is what I was like. This is I
love me some chocolate
and all of that.
What?
I said this when at this point of The Wire, this was when I really liked him.
Right.
And swag and all of that.
That's what I'm
And then
about.
when he started doing certain things, it was a
Yeah.
pullback.
Yeah.
Gradually, though.
I get, look, and I know what y'all talking about. I'm not saying I was with everything he was doing, but
Yeah.
he was my little heartthrob.
I didn't even know you had Proposition Joe in the background.
Yeah, he was my little heartthrob in this thing. Okay. Anyway, so I don't want to, go on and talk too much about him anymore.
Okay, where we going now? Where we going now?
We get to the scene where Bodie is finally out. So he makes it back to the lowriders, and he made it back by stealing a car because the last time we saw him, he was hitching a ride,
Mm-hmm.
But the most significant part about this scene was the fact that D'Angelo decided to tell Bodie, Pooh, and Wallace about a body that he caught, okay? A body that they didn't know about. All right, so go on, Moochie, and break it down.
All right, I'm gonna break it down.
In his mouth, like.
Now, with this whole thing, he comes back from juvie, and they was like, "How the heck you get out so fast?" And they found out how he got out, and he stole the car. He asked them if they wanted to go joyriding, and he was like, "No," and he still looks down on D'Angelo for the simple fact is he feels like he got his position because who he's related to. So he feel like he's really not about that.
Right.
And that's why the story was told.
Mm-hmm.
The story was told to prove, oh, you really think I'm not about it? I just came off a murder rap. I was locked down for 8 months. And I'll give you another one.
Yeah. And that was because he said... That was because he tried to play him for just that one body. He was like, yeah, the one. Like,
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And he feels like that one body was a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, nah, I'm really about that.
Right.
Just because, I carry myself this way, stop thinking I'm soft.
Right.
And, he didn't say that, but he said that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to add something, Brillo?
Yeah, just D'Angelo being a sucker, trying to impress his people that's working for you. No, I'm just gonna tell you what it is. I'm not gonna. Why are you talking about a murder?
Right.
No, don't nobody need to know that. You need to know that you're gonna do what I tell you to do, or you're gonna get off this pack, young Bodie. You can go. You can make nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get off this pack, or you're gonna do what I need you to do. And I respect that. I don't need to tell you about no murder. D'Angelo was just a poser, man. He was a pretender.
Yeah, and that's
Bodie was right about him.
It was so stupid because it was like, he told them the weapon that he used and everything, the kind of gun, like the type of gun and all that. So it was like, dang, I already knew that this was a big mistake, but look, this is what he got. He got this reaction that looked like, oh, okay, I didn't know. Like this is kind of what he wanted, but honey, that's not the way you do things.
Right.
Not at all.
Exactly.
So it was just a stupid move, and I already know that's coming back to bite hard. Next, we have
about a murder.
Huh?
So you can't just be telling people about a murder.
Yeah. What the heck?
Yeah,
and then he's not even having a one-on-one conversation. He's telling it in front of 2 other young kids. Like, this is just insane. All right. So anyway, so next, Officer Chunky, he goes to speak to the major on. Stop.
Call him Chunky.
He goes to speak to the major on behalf of McNulty, right? On McNulty's behalf. And he basically tells the major that McNulty, he can't help how he is or who he is, and that even though who he is may make him seem like a butthole, it kind of also shows that it comes off as good policing as well, right? So the major says, all right, tell McNulty to wrap up the BS detail that he's on in 2 weeks, and then he could come home with a clean slate. So, Moochie, you want to say anything about this?
Now, he can't stand McNulty.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I hate when I don't know.
I call him the major. I don't know his name either.
Well, the major, he can't stand McNulty. He hates him with a passion. He hates him with the passion, and he's ready to freaking string him up by, string him up and get him in. He wants to get rid of him. You don't want him in his department. He can't stand him because he feels like he runs his mouth too much, and he's an idiot. And what you call the other dude?
Officer Chunky. That's Jay.
Chunky J. Chunky J is just.
I guess
Chunky J is just like, I know my friend's an a-hole, but you have to understand.
Right.
So he's trying to be, I guess, play devil's advocate for him.
Yeah, I mean, that was nice of him. What do you think, Brillo?
Whenever I come down to it, man, I hate to say it, but McNulty is a good cop. But he just doesn't play by the rules, and he doesn't know how to play the politics game in the in the cop arena. Like, he could do his job more effective if he just plays politics right. But McNulty is not gonna play politics. He's gonna know if I'm right, he's gonna go around your corner, he's gonna backdoor you, he's gonna do whatever he can. He get fixated on this case, and he don't give a damn who he hurt, who burned down, as long as he gets the perp that he has in his eyesight at the moment. Like, McNulty's like a bloodhound. He's like Sax times 20.
To the fifth power, right?
He is when it comes to politics and all that, and trying to push stuff under the rug, he is like their worst nightmare. He's like, no, he is the whistleblower for real. Like, nope, this is the right way to do it, and I'm gonna do it regardless of what y'all say.
He's not a team player, McNulty. He's just like, he wants to do his police work, and he wants to be the guy that saves the day.
All right, so next, after talking to Burrell and letting him know that they're not getting anywhere with this case, with the Barksdale case, Daniels has a meeting with his squad to see if they have any other suggestions or ideas. And the lawmen, they come to the conclusion that they've exhausted all the measures of getting to the Barksdale crew. So now they got to prove it to the judge so that they can step it up a notch with a new method, such as cloning pagers, right? But to do that, they need a wiretap affidavit. So, Moochie, you want to go ahead with this?
All right. So they want to clone everyone's pages in order to get the cell numbers. Because no one's, well, not the cell numbers, the telephones that they're using. So if they clone the pages, they'll be able to see who's who and who's using what phone.
Right.
Did I explain that right?
Yeah. Every time every time one of them get a page, then the lawmen get a page.
Exactly. And you got to see with, oh man.
Who are you talking about?
The one that plays with the little
Freeman.
Yeah. Freeman is a genius.
Yeah, he's already on it.
He's a good cop. He's on it. And McNulty finally finds someone that's good, but they put him somewhere. Oh, I'm going ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brillo. You want to say something about this also?
Yeah, this is when they find out that, Lester, he's not just sitting over there doing figurines. He's actually better than all of us. He's actually a great detective. So this is when they find out that Lester Freeman, and like Moochie said, Lester and McNulty equals devastation.
Right. And it's like you could see why he's just sitting back, right? Just playing with his furniture because it's like, when I tried to do my job, they didn't want me to do it. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm over here just playing with this furniture. Like, whatever.
IKEA.
Right? So next, we have McNulty and Bunk. They revisit the crime scene of Deidre Crescent. But before they get into the apartment, McNulty asks about Freeman, and Bunk tells McNulty not to let Freeman fool him, right? Because he's a natural police officer and he used to work in homicide. So when I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. So when McNulty says to him, well, why is he not in homicide anymore? Bunk just plainly tells him, just go on ahead and ask him, So now we get into this crime scene, guys. Oh my gosh. Before I let y'all have it, let me just say, all right, this is where, look, him, McNulty and Bunk, the only freaking dialogue that they had in this whole freaking crime scene was F, mother effer, and F-F-D F-F. That's all they were doing. And I said, what the heck is happening here? So go ahead, Moochie, and you want to talk
about the maintenance dude was watching the whole thing. Is he a maintenance guy?
A super something.
He was watching this whole thing transpire, and he was seeing how they was breaking this whole murder scene down, how it went down, where the shot took place, where it happened, how tall was the shooter, all of that.
Right.
And it was just F. Mother.
Yo. Yeah. It was crazy.
This right here was just a highlight reel of detective and police work. I mean,
exactly.
Feel like you watching Dexter on the scene of a murder, doing a blood splatter. I mean, they really on it. Like it was. That's how you're supposed to solve a case. Like, instead of just saying, "Tell me who did it. I'm gonna throw you in jail." You know what I mean? So it was funny, the dialogue. Like the writers actually wrote that.
Right.
They wrote that. They could have. That had to be ad-lib.
Right.
I think they wrote that in the script.
I don't know, but they probably did, because they probably just
did. Like, that's genius.
Yeah, they probably just wanted us to focus on how good they are together as a team and how good they are with, dissecting a scene like this, because
the breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, because look, they was trying to figure out, the entry and the exit wound, how the heck that was even possible. Remember how they both went to the window and had the gun? Like, they really. That dude, Keeley, he was the one. They was like, Bunk was saying how, look how thin this file is. So they basically had to kind of like replay the whole scene with the pictures and match the pictures to the floor and the walls and the window and all of that stuff. And then that's how they kind of was making connections. Now, this guy, Keeley, he just did not do a good job at all with his investigation for this scene. And even in this part right here, where they just figured out, he said tap, tap, tap 3 times, just
like how D'Angelo explained
just how D'Angelo was telling the story. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I feel like
that was a little over the top.
I like the connection.
When he said tap, tap, tap,
I was here for it.
Like, how would you know?
I mean, yeah, true, but
it does make sense though if the lights are off though.
Yeah, because they said what time it happened. They could figure all of that out.
Like, he was right.
Yeah,
he was 100% right. That was
3 taps. I mean, you're right. It might be a little bit over the top. Like, did you really guess that somebody tapped it 3 times? You know what I'm saying? But I just love that connection,
because it showed us that McNulty is a great detective.
Right. Exactly. And at the end of the day, we have to kind of give them a little bit of, ease off a little bit, because we know this is make believe. So they're gonna do something a little fake.
Look, this was when
find a goofy in this
really believable.
Yeah, goofiness. What you saying, Abuchi?
So you saying that would be your goofy moment, Brillo?
I mean, it's tough. Like, I mean, kind of like the show is like, how it's tough to find a real goofy moment. Yeah. D'Angelo telling him about the murder would be my.
That was goofy. You know what I like? I even if it may not be that realistic for him to know, because obviously, like, how the heck would you know that he tapped on the window 3 times? I kind of looked at it like it was a coincidence, and I just liked how it tied into
exactly
D'Angelo telling the story. Tap, tap, tap. Like, that was just like, oh snap, D'Angelo, you so stupid, guy. So. We're gonna move on, and then on top of that, when they found, like, what was that, like a bullet lodged into the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went outside and found a freaking shell casing. Listen, it's a freaking wrap. When they finish going on with this case and they continue to dig, it's going to be a problem. Y'all already know it. I don't all the way know it, but but I could see it, right? So
Angela Helper said McNulty thinks like a criminal.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, Angela.
That was a good analogy of it too, the way she said it.
Yeah, thinks like a criminal for sure. Tap, tap, tap. So this is the actually the last scene that we're going to talk about, and this is of McNulty going to talk to Freeman and asking him why he stopped working in homicide. So, Moochie, if you want to go ahead and say something about this scene.
Okay, so they have like a sit down conversation at the bar once he finds out that he's a real natural police.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "Well, why did you leave to go to what it was the pawn shop thing?
Yeah.
So why did you leave to go there?" And he was like, "I didn't leave there. They put me there,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked me where did I want to go." And I told them I didn't want to go anywhere where I just put me on the street. I want to do my detective work.
Where you don't want to go.
And they was asking him where he don't. They asked him where he wanted to go, and he told them where. And then they asked him where he didn't want to go, and that's when he said made the point about I don't want to be pushing papers around, and that's just where they put him. So he gave him a warning, and he needs to take heed to this. When they ask you where you want to go, don't tell them.
Yep. Because they will ask. That's what he said. They will ask.
Jones, foreshadowing.
Yep. They will tell. You want to say something, Brillo?
I don't know if I'm gonna give it away, but did McNulty tell him where he didn't want to go?
Did McNulty tell him?
Right here, you talking about this part?
Yeah, because I'm mixing.
No, he didn't say anything yet.
He just
gave him the conversation, and he basically wanted him to take it in, like, listen to what I'm telling you. When they ask you where you want to go, and they will ask you, you don't tell them.
Yeah, because he finds out that, they're kind of very similar.
Exactly.
Like Freeman, the person, it was about the stabbing of this old lady. Like, that was so sad when I found out, like when I heard them say a stabbing of an 80-something-year-old lady, I was like, oh my gosh. So the thing is that with this case, he already had like his evidence and everything going on, but then one of the perps wound up being related to some type of editor on a paper or something like that. And, there we go again with the politics. And they wanted Freeman to kind of like omit some of the evidence or something with the fence or something like that. And he didn't do it. And that's the reason why they said, you know what, you got, where do you want to go? Like, they're not going to fire him or nothing like that, but where do you want to go at this point? Because you can't stay in homicide. They don't want him nowhere near anything that,
That makes no sense. Like, let the man do his job.
Exactly. And I was going to say that they don't want him anywhere near where he could actually do his job properly. And it's crazy because it's like they want you to do the job. But if it has to do with somebody in their family or anybody that's connected to them for any political reason, then you can't.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's pretty messed up. So before we get out of here, I really enjoyed this episode. And I actually was about to start watching. I did start watching the 5th episode, but then I said, you know what, let me stop, because then I might get stuff mixed up,
right.
Say what I have to say.
Stop too.
Yeah, and we also saw in this episode that McNulty he has some problems with his children and his ex-wife. So that's a little. We were talking about how this show compared to other shows that we have now, like Power, we can kind of we may like the cops a little more in this show because you get into their personal life.
That is true.
Right. But on Power and stuff, it's like you automatically hate them because they're just more like an antagonist. You don't even know nothing about them. They don't give you nothing to like at all. So
right.
Right, because I liked McNulty, even though he was hunting down my people.
Yeah.
I did too.
Me too.
I did too. I did take a liking to him.
Of course, I didn't want him to win the case, but you know what I mean? He was hard not to like. Yeah, he was.
Right. He I do remember liking him too. And
Bunk was my favorite though.
Who?
Bunk.
Favorite cop, Bunk.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta see
Freeman.
All right, I gotta see a little more of them to, see how I feel
like
about.
Kima too.
Yeah, to see how I feel about them. But that was pretty much that, guys. Anybody want to say anything extra before we leave?
Oh, next week's episode is gonna be fire. It's gonna start to pick up, y'all. So look, if you ain't watching, y'all better watch it and get on it for next Tuesday. Ew.
Yeah, Angela says you root for both sides with The Wire.
Exactly.
Yep, and that's what makes
I liked about it
so phenomenal, you know, because it's reality at the end of the day, really. You know what I'm saying? Because they have and you know what? Here's another scene that I didn't bring up. It's kind of like that situation that happened with Herc and Carter when they went into Bodie's house and his grandmother's house and they was all rude, like open the effing door, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And then she just sat right back. She opened the door, she sat down, she did her little knitting, and Carver just left out the door, and it hit Herc like, you know what? That was rude. You know what I mean? We didn't have to do all that. I didn't know it was just you in here, this and that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like just the way the show allows us to see two sides of humanity. These people are human. Herc also saw like we're cops and these people are criminals, but they're also human as well. And they have regular people in their lives. Everybody that's attached to them or in their lives shouldn't be treated like garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, so I like that little scene right there. And honestly, Herc, I don't know if I remember liking him, but I know so far I was like, oh, he get on my nerves. He complains so freaking much. But I think I'm trying to remember if I wind up liking him towards, you know, as things progress, but I don't remember. He said no.
Okay. It's a question. Cameron Jones asked, do any of us review the Ozarks?
No. What I wanted to do, Karen,
I want to do a whole recap with it.
Yeah, what I wanted to do, because I haven't watched it, so I was just gonna do a whole recap of the series once I do watch it and just call it a day, because I haven't even watched it.
You watch it, Brillo?
Yeah, anything gangster, I'm gonna watch.
So what about Peaky Blinders? Did you watch Peaky Blinders?
I mess with the Shelbys.
Okay.
All right. I had to ask. Look,
especially the what's my man name in charge? He is pressing. Tommy.
Yeah. So Tommy,
that's what we really want to do.
We need to really talk about that, because that's a show that I feel like not a lot of people are talking about, and I would love to talk about that. And I honestly, you like Tommy, and you know, I like his brother.
You like all the brothers. I like the younger brother too, and their mom.
I like the younger one. I like Michael.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though he's kind of
saying that they kind of remind me of a situation with Rock, how she's the middle one. She's not the oldest, but she's in charge. And but it's nowhere like that, because Arthur is not like, what's his name? He's nothing like
Marvin.
Yeah, he's nothing like Marvin. It's a whole different reason why Tommy is in charge over Arthur. But anyway, we getting off topic, but I would love to do that show. Okay, yeah, Angela said I love
winding down so we could mention it.
I love Peaky Blinders. Yep, me too, girl. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Angela Helper, Reggie M, Karen Jones, Nisha Hummingbird, Support Gaming. Thank you for always coming through. Thank you so much for your support. Eric S, Jeremiah Latumba. Thank you guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. Have a blessed day, right? A blessed night. We're coming back for Hidden Gems on Thursday at 10 o'clock?
On your channel.
On this channel. And we're going to be talking about some throwbacks. All right.
Yeah. It's Throwback Thursday.
The girls got a snowfall at 8:30 on Thursday. So
okay.
Right
Check it out. Snowfall.
Right before.
Yes. All right, guys. Take care. Be blessed. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.